Ross, a professional actor and singer and songwriter, and I just had a wonderful interview with Keith Andrew on the Keith Andrew Network, and I can't recommend him more. Please follow him on YouTube and listen to his interviews. You will not be disappointed. Great content, great people, and I am so honored that he asked me to be a part of this today. Go check him out.
My name is Nana Poncleon. I'm an actress as well as Michel, and I was honored to be interviewed today by Keith Andrew and the Keith Andrew Network. And you know, this is our third time around, and every time Keith invites me is such a pleasure and such an honor. I absolutely recommend his channel. You should check him out. It's a source of inspiration and motivation for everyone. So thank you, Keith, again for having me in the show today.
The 725. I'm here as two beautiful women, Nana Poncleon and Michel Ross. Thank you for joining us.
So happy to be here with you, Keith. Thank you so much for the invite.
Yeah, same here, same here. It's been a couple of years now.
No, absolutely. And it's funny enough because this is the first time me and Michel are doing an interview, but this is our third interview. Well, you can say 2.5 because we did this one-on-one last time, but I wanted to do something different, so I guess, yeah, you can count this as a third interview.
Okay, awesome. You know, I'm always so honored and thrilled to be with you.
No, absolutely. Now,
I'm giddy with excitement. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm ready, I think.
Don't worry, Michel. I don't either. I just came on board. He said, let's do it. And I said, okay.
That's awesome. We should go roll.
Absolutely. Like I said, I like bringing people together. It's a good message, good cause, and it's just a normal conversation. Now, before we get started, for people who want to know what the talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. It's to prove to them you can still amount to something. So a hashtag of break the labels. So that being said, both of you are professional actors. So I'm going to ask you some easy questions, then we go to the hard-hitting ones. So starting off with Michel, you know, how was life growing up, and when you were in college, were you a study nerd or party animal?
I was a little bit of both in college, but I was usually everybody's designated driver. That was my job. Caring nurturer, taking care of the kids, that sort of thing. And everybody's camp counselor pretty much in college. But backing up to childhood, I am an only child. I grew up with two great parents. My mom and dad were both in education. My father was also extremely creative, visual artist, creative writer, photojournalist, and a graphic designer. My mom was a brilliant woman who was very book smart as well as just naturally intelligent. And she was an English teacher and librarian. So I grew up with really a lot of literature and art. And I also inherited from both of them the knack for acting and singing. So they told me from the time that I was very little, I was singing to my mobile above me in the crib. And by the time I think I was about 5 years old, I was dancing outside and performing scenes from famous movie musicals. And the rest is history. Fast forward to college, And I entered Oklahoma City University at age 17 and started working toward a vocal music degree there and graduated with a degree in vocal performance from Oklahoma City University. And I did do a lot of fun in college. I think I set the record as probably the most social person there. So here was my mentality in college was, why do your homework now when you can go to a party and have fun and do it later? Why not just stay up all night and mainline Dr. Pepper and coffee and then show up for your 8 a.m. class the next morning, all hopped up on caffeine, ready for your listening exam in classical music? Sure, that works. Yeah. Yep, that was me, Miss Social Butterfly.
So I can imagine just sitting there, just bouncing up and down. So what we're gonna do today?
Exactly. Toothpicks in my eyes, I'm here. The funny thing is that whenever I was in that school at the time, they had very small class sizes. Now I think their class sizes are a lot larger. But in the music department, sometimes there were only 2 of us in a class. There was really no getting away with stuff. And our professors knew. They knew what we were up to. It was funny. Yeah.
And what about you?
Me?
Yep.
Okay. So let's see. Me. I am from Venezuela, first of all. I heard your Oklahoma accent.
Yes.
Michel,
Texas,
yes,
Oklahoma.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I was in August Osage County, the play.
Oh, I love it. Fantastic.
Here in New York. Yeah.
Oh, what part did you play?
I was the maid.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is
awesome.
awesome.
She's an amazing character. Yeah. I love it.
Yes. That is right up the road from me, Pawhuska area. Yep.
Is it? Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. So anyway, I'm from Venezuela, and I didn't study acting as my first career, though I knew that's what I wanted to do. Ever since I was a girl, probably like you, always listening to music, dancing. My mom, took me to flamenco. I did guitar. I played the cuatro. I learned piano, and I was in every play in school. I sang in the choir in church, and I was always involved with the arts. But when I told my mom that I wanted to do it as a career, she almost had a heart attack. She's like, what? So I ended up, I did business, and that was my first career. Did the business world, the corporate world. I was in Microsoft for almost 12 years in sales and marketing. And then when that got to be too much, I resigned. And I was married. I have 2 girls. And I said, well, I'm going to resign. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just wanted out the corporate world. And a friend suggested an acting workshop to relax. He said, you're kind of artistic. You like that stuff. You're involved with arts. And why don't you just go relax and forget about the corporate world at this workshop? It's every Saturday. And I'm like, yeah, why not? And that was it. Like for you, the rest is history. I walked into that black box, and it was like Back to the Future kind of thing. I was back in my artistic self. I loved that workshop. I was the oldest one in the class, which I have always been. Yeah, but I love it. And ever since, it was little by little. I just, one workshop after the next until I decided 8 years ago to come to New York and just formally go to school. I went to Stella Adler here in New York. And I said, I went to school for business. Let me do it for acting. And I stayed. So here I am doing the acting thing. That's about it.
No, it's funny you mentioned Back to the Future. As you may or may not know, I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z. So there's a line in Dragon Ball Super where
Uh-huh.
Kid Trunks talks to Future Trunks and says, well, couldn't you just go back in time and just do it over? Long story short, Future Trunks went back in time to give Goku the heart virus, thinking it would change his timeline, but all it did was change the past. It didn't change the future. So the joke was, in later on in Super, yeah, those movies really had it all wrong. You can change the past, but it doesn't affect. It makes an alternative reality and a timeline. So if you're thinking you're going to go back and tell yourself, hey, you should do this, all you're doing is changing the timeline and making it an alternative reality. But the joke was the movies had it all wrong.
That's profound, though.
That takes the pressure off of me constantly wanting to go back and change the past. So thank you for that.
That is very profound. Yes, absolutely.
While we're on the subject, I always thought, not to be morbid, the day I die, would I do my life over? And I thought, yeah, I would, but there's certain things to be like, okay, you have your talk show, and it's 1993, and you did your show in 2013, so you have to wait. So in the meantime, I would make sure not to piss off my family. I would spend enough time with my grandparents. I would stay away from certain people. So I would fill in the gaps and make sure certain events never happen. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I give you an example because, Michelle, you don't know this one. And I know you did. We talked about this in our last couple episodes. I used to work in retail. And long story short, there was this girl. Not a lot of people know this story because I don't like repeating it. There was this girl. I'll give you an example. There are three of us. So Michelle, you're my coworker, and Nana, you're the manager.
Okay.
So Michelle's come over to me like, oh, Keith, you can tell me anything you want. I'm here for you. We can talk. You can whatever you can come up with. Then you would go to the manager and say, oh, Keith is stalking me. Keith is doing this. Keith is doing that. You would yell at me. And I can't snap my fingers back, but Michelle would be right there and say, oh, we're just having fun with you. I keep it PG. We're just blanking with you. Don't take it so personally. We're just having fun. So this brought up my anxiety because grown up, I had social skills, panic attacks, and all that. So this really brought it out. If you think about it, maybe it happened for a reason. I got sick because it put me on the right direction. Either way, I would have, still done the talk show one way or another. Even if it wasn't in 13, it would have happened maybe 14, 15. But if you never gotten sick and overcame that, maybe certain things wouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Can you guys relate to that?
I certainly can. I think everything that I have done up to this point in my life has not only been a learning experience, but it led me to really what I'm supposed to do and really what matters. I think if I had made one misstep or anything different happen, I wouldn't have my son. That's that has always been the thing that has galvanized me and really made me have peace. Am I where I want to be in my career? No, but I have a whole new open door now. My son is now in college. My business is going well. I have a performing arts school here in Tulsa, and it's thriving. I have amazing students. My students are doing incredible things out in the world of acting, singing, dancing, all of those areas. And I'm so proud of what I'm now able to build. And like you, Nana, it's now is an open door for me to have a second. It's like take two. It's like,
Yes.
it's me 2.0. You know, in my 20s, I was working so hard to make this career happen. Just working so hard. Open doors and shut doors, open doors, shut doors. Just when I thought it was about to happen. And I was going for a record deal or acting careers. And
so you sing as well. I love it.
Yes. I'm a singer-songwriter and spent a few years in Nashville too, as a matter of fact, and actually found a voice teacher there who changed my life. And that's, you know, another thing. If I hadn't gone there, I wouldn't have met her. And then
Keith,
life changed, you know?
You see, Keith is the best. I mean, I need to talk to you offline.
Girl, I love it. That's awesome. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. The technique changed my life. And I mean, I left college almost vocally confused with an opera degree. And it wasn't until I wound up in Nashville trying to get a record deal that I met this woman through my manager, and now here I am, fast forward, and God is using me to funnel all of that, all those school of hard knocks that you get right out of college or whatever you do in life. You know, you really do go to the school of hard knocks after school. I mean, really your education begins after your education.
Yes.
Formal education, as you alluded to earlier, Nana, and that is exactly what happened. And because of all of that, it made me who I am, and now I'm able to teach these students from age 5 to I have students who are in their 60s, and the technique is life-changing. It's life-changing.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You must remember the movie Fame, right?
Yes. Oh gosh.
You
look so much like her.
I so wanted to have a school like that. I wanted to be in a school like that, but I also wanted to have a school like that.
Yes, yes. Here at South Tulsa Dance Company here in Tulsa, we have a lot of that going on. We have competition dance. I mean, the dancers are just amazing.
I gotta go visit you.
You do come to Tulsa. It's a huge theater community. We are very big into musical theater, and also the live music scene would remind you of Nashville. I mean, it's that vibrant here. It's really an amazing artistic place. But I think about just everything that happened, and I think the most important thing that gives me so much peace and lets me know that God's allowing me to have 2.0, and now my career as an actor, as a film actor, is about to take a new relaunch, because now I've got that most important love, you know, the love of family. And I needed that. I'm a lover, touchy-feely type person, and I needed family. I needed love in my life. Although my marriage didn't work out, I have so many wonderful family members and friends who support me, and I have this amazing human that I gave birth to, who is a sophomore at OU, and he's very musical, but he's also practical, and he wants to go and make money. So he's a finance major, not a music major.
Nice.
Yes. So that what you said, Keith, really, that just really brought that truth out of me, that I can rest in knowing that no matter what awful things I went through, and there are many awful things, but there are so many great things too, and they all work to shape us. And I'm sure Nana would attest to this too. They make you the actor that you are. And like Meisner, you know, Sanford said, it takes 20 years to be an actor. Mine's more like 30.
Well, I mean, you had other things in between, so.
Yeah. Yes. And I honestly believe
Yeah.
those were designed. Those were designed to make me a better actor and make me better at what I do. And I get just as much joy seeing other people reach their dreams as I do reaching my own. So it's really exciting. It's an exciting time right now.
Yep, absolutely. Now, what's the last two questions left? I'm down. Pass the show over to you guys. Social media. Can social media make you or break you? Let's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Do these websites dictate if people should work with you? And also, because the theme of the show is about disabilities, have you guys worked with people with disabilities? Well, apparently you're working with me. And are
Have you what?
willing?
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I didn't hear the question. Have you what?
So social media, can it make you or break you?
Uh-huh.
You know, and the second one is, have you ever worked with people with disabilities, and are you willing to work with people with disabilities? Passing the show over to both of you.
Okay, so I'll go. And social media, listen, to me, social media, first of all, is something that's here to stay. And, many people have fought it for a long time, including me. And I even fought my daughter on social media. I mean, she was always on the phone and always doing things. And I was like, come on, let go of that phone, please. We're eating, we're doing this. And now she's a whole social media star. She's up to almost 1 million followers, or I don't know, like it grows every day. So, and it's her career now. So I guess social media can break you, as anything can break you if you let it. For example, a drink can not break you, but 1,000 drinks every day can break you. So I think it's how you use it and what you use it for, but certainly is an amazing tool. It has allowed us to be here with you today without great expenses. This before would have probably been impossible. You needed a whole production team. You needed a studio. You needed backing from big companies with money to put your show up somewhere. So in that sense, social media has helped us get together and be able to do these kinds of things. Tons of people producing content and putting it out there for the world to see at a very low cost. So, I feel it depends, and sometimes, for example, for me in particular, I find myself at certain times where social media is it's hurting me because I'm spending too many hours on it instead of doing something else, maybe shooting my own things or reading, learning. So I'm just swiping and swiping. In that case, it's not serving me. But like everything in life, to me is depending on how you use it and what you use it for. The second question about working with people with disabilities, no, I have not. Yeah, I mean, you're the only person who has approached me to work with them, and unfortunately, I must say, on the sets that I have worked on, not people. Maybe once there was a person with disability, but didn't have a major role. So, and that is unfortunate. But would I work with someone with disability? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. You have no idea what you teach me and how you inspire me and motivate me. And the fact that we're doing this today, like Michel said, God works in mysterious ways. This interview came in a moment in my life where I needed to be in contact with you. I need the motivation and the inspiration that anything is possible, and that the only limitation to do and accomplish things is myself. I can't blame anything or anyone out there for anything that happens to me. What I do or what I don't do is all dependent on me. And you're the best and the most wonderful example of that. Your constant and persistent work ethic and your resilience is unbelievable and inspiring to me. So, you know, yeah, I absolutely would work with people like you, and I love this. So thank you.
No, absolutely. What about you, Michelle?
I have to absolutely say ditto to everything she just said. That is spot on. In fact, the words that were in my head, she literally was saying. And I have to only add that, you know, the advent of technology has always carried with it, you know, advancements in technology have always carried with it the balance of blessing and curse. And I think I couldn't agree more with Nana about how we control, to a certain extent, how that balance is for us personally. If I could delete all my social media and just focus on what I need to do, and I would get a lot more done. I find myself, you know, like everyone, like you said,
Oh
wasting
my God.
so much time, you know, surfing through social media, honestly thinking I'm learning something, I guess, but a lot of it is wasted time. But that's really been something on my mind lately, and I know we all struggle with that. If we didn't need it for our careers as actors, and for me too with my business, it
Yes.
would be something that I would have to purge, probably at least for a certain amount of time, so I could, you know, make sure that I am focused. But I think that's just me telling myself, hey, it's time to get more of that balance of blessing as opposed to curse when it comes to that technological gift. And honestly, it really is, you know, advancements in technology have so many benefits. They've benefited us, you know, medically with our health. They've benefited us socially. They've benefited us financially, you know, in so many ways. But ultimately, it does rest on our shoulders to be good stewards of those blessings. So yeah, I feel convicted right now. I do, absolutely. To answer the second part of the question, I have been very fortunate to work with a lot of different students and performers with different abilities and with disabilities and challenges, both with learning disabilities as well as physical disabilities. And like Nana said, I have learned so much from those students and those fellow actors or coworkers, and it has changed me. I have to say, probably a really one of the best examples I can point to is I coached a young lady for the Miss South Dakota pageant, and she was such a talented natural architect. She's now an architect. She's now gone on to get her master's degree, but her struggle was with debilitating dyslexia. Mm. And it was difficult for her to read and to do math, but she could read floor plans like her father, who was a project manager. She could pick up at a young age of like 8 or 9 years old. She was reading floor plans.
Wow.
And she knew where everything was, and she understood the construction process just from that. And the girl was one of the most talented visual artists I've ever seen. Her artwork was phenomenal. Her graphic designs are phenomenal. It's no wonder she's out there rocking it now as an architect, but still struggles, with her dyslexia. I've worked with students in, learning how to play the piano who had a stroke. Recently, a young girl, she's, I think, about maybe 11, 12. She's had a stroke on her right side, so she can only play the piano with her left hand. So kind of restructuring how we utilize sheet music for her, and how, we can change the fingerings to fit her moving from the treble clef down to the bass clef and back and forth, was another challenge for me. I'd never done that before. That was literally last year. So that was, I think those are probably two of the most stark examples of being blessed to work with people of different abilities. I like to say different abilities.
Absolutely. Now we're going to go wrap up the show. I do have a couple of ideas I'd like to talk to both of you off the air about. But wrapping up, when I first approached both of you of being on the show, actually, let me ask you this one first. How can people follow you on social media? Whoever wants to go first. Are you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn?
Yes, I'm on all of those. I'm not as active on Twitter as I am Facebook and Instagram. And I do have a profile on LinkedIn, and you can find me by being sure that you spell Michel with one L, Michele, and then Ross, Ross is my last name. I also have a website, www.michellerossstudios.com. And you can go there to learn a little bit more about what I do as a performing arts teacher. But also my actor page is on there. It needs updates really badly. But my resume, headshots, demo reels, I recently did a film camp in Norman, Oklahoma, and got a bunch of new film reels. So I'm excited to put those on the website. But those are ways to get a hold of me there. And my phone number and email address are also listed on the website.
Awesome. So in my case, me too. I'm not very active on Twitter. I'm like you, most active on Instagram and Facebook as well. All social media for me is Nana Poncleon, at Nana Poncleon. That's Ponceleon. And my website as well is www.nanaponceleon.com. All my acting information is there as well. So same thing.
No, absolutely. And my last question for you is, when I first approached you, Michelle, to be on my show, what was your honest? I want you to be brutally honest. So when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? What made you say yes, and how do you feel now?
Well, first of all, one of my favorite voice students, I shouldn't say that, all of them are my favorites, but she's precious. Jessamine Katzman was one of your guests on your show, and she is one of my students who's so talented and out there really beating the bushes and doing a ton of great work. And I thought, if she trusts this guy, then I trust this guy. And I think I would love to be involved in what he's involved with. And I just thought it was really cool that you followed up and asked me to do this. I honestly was both excited and floored that I would be invited to do such a thing. So I was honestly honored. I had nothing but great thoughts about it. So thank you again.
Absolutely.
And hopefully you're thankful. I'm just
I am.
Well, in my case was the same thing. And for me, Keith invited me the first time, like I said, actually I was working it out in my mind. And I think Keith, it was well over 3 to 4 years. So maybe even 5, I'm not sure. So back then, he already had under his belt over 300 interviews from what I remember. It was unbelievable. Wow. So when I don't quite exactly remember how you contacted me or how we came. I think it was social media again.
Right.
But immediately when I saw the profile and I saw what you were doing and what you were all about, I just had to say yes. I was so honored to be invited to be interviewed by you that I just couldn't resist. It was really more of an honor for me than what, it was more a gift for me to accept and be with you on the show.
No, absolutely. Now, I do have a couple ideas for you guys off the air. We can talk about that separately. But wrapping up our interview segment, it was a real honor and privilege having you both of you on. And I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Hi guys, my name is Kat Johnston.
This is Donna Drake.
This is Kayleen.
Hi, my name is Kara Svucek.
I'm Julia Brothers.
Jenna Curtis.
Hey, I'm Jenny Fine.
Hi, it's Mimi Chen.
Hi, my name is Ella Dorsch.
My name is Shauna Toft.
Hey guys, I'm Anastasia Edwards.
Hi, this is Jackie Nunez.
Actress Becky Hayes.
Hi, I'm Amelia Rose.
Hey there, I'm Saki Mieta.
Hi guys, I'm Alexandria Denise, and you're watching Keith Andrews' show.